getting my audio. Yeah, it's getting audio. Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys. Blockchain game dev here, and I have a new video. Yes, I do. And haven't really had a good reason to make one in quite some time, but that all changes today. That all changes today. So let me show you guys what is going on. Okay, so we got a really cool update that has been percolating through Web3 Trails. It's an SDK that basically allows you to embed a widget and get access to buy, earn, swap, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So I've written an article here. It's called Taser. um, is Trails and Phaser mixed together, and that's what you get. So I wrote this article. It breaks down what Trail is, the four main components of it. I'll just scroll down. Here we have like the pay, and then I have kind of example of how you use the Trails SDK to embed that. It goes through an actual, in-game example. It shows some other kind of game, Web3 game mechanics that you could use or would want to use, like swaps. Say that you have an in-game currency and you have a DeFi strategy that has an underlying asset to USDC. You use that asset, the player wants to swap out to USDC later. Also helps with onboarding because if let's say you have a gem and that's your in-game currency, you can onboard your players to buy $10 worth of this gem token. A portion of the money that they had used to buy the gems itself becomes the underlying asset, which can then be put into like a DeFi strategy using Morpho or Aave or something like that. So pretty cool. And I go through that. Funding, which is the onboarding. This currently is a work in progress. So if you have assets, like you got something from Coinbase, you could just send it. Or if you connect with a wallet that already has like some dust from some other chains, you can consolidate it, which is really cool because that's really hard to do. Is like taking assets from other chains. You have not enough for gas, but you got $50 in some other token. Wouldn't it be great to swap that in like a really nice interface? They do that for you as well. We have an example of a onboarding flow, and then the yield mechanics. So taking these in-game currencies that we currently have, and then if the game has a yield strategy where you can, stake that asset that you have around the underlying asset, maybe it's USDC, and then earn some yield that way, which is really, really cool as well. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. I'm going to try and keep this video as short as I can. Please go to this article, give it a thumbs up, engage with it, join the Telegram to learn more. And I'll just go through an example that I currently have here. I just want to make sure that, I like connect my wallet. So I'm connected here. And what we can do is you'll see here, we'll start clicking. And this is just like a web-based, HTML, TypeScript game using Phaser and Trails SDK. And the one thing that's really cool is that you're like designing your games as you would as just a traditional game that has its own in-game economy, and where you would add like swap in, say, a platform like Stripe or PayPal, or maybe you're lucky enough to have created your like own Rails for this, then you can just add in the Trails components to it and have that Web3 layer that is usually pretty tricky to thread. And because of the way the API is, you can you can marry it with other platforms really, really seamlessly. So I'm just going to do a quick example here, and this is with a custom UI. So I'll say buy with crypto. And you'll see here that we have these different assets. So we have Arbitrum, Base, Ethereum, and I got a couple other ones, Polygon here as well. And what this is doing is it's going through my balance, right? And collecting all of the different assets that I own that can be used as collateral to buy this asset on whatever chain it is. So as long as Trails supports both sides and you have a token on either one of them, you can use that to basically swap in game, which is has been really hard to do. So I'm just going to confirm this purchase. It does go to a zero address currently, just for testing. So you can see that the UI is waiting for us to sign a transaction. It's a little bit laggy as I'm making the video, so bear with me on this one. Kind of let it do its thing. Then we can continue playing. And now when we click, you'll see here that it has updated and we got that boost where we get 10 coins per click. Yeah, and that's kind of basically it. A quick example of it. There is going to be an article that you saw there, and there is a accompanying GitHub repository that shows the base components of the Taser SDK. And that's it for now. See you guys soon.